From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, February the 20th, 2018. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas addressed the United Nations Security Council today in New York City. In his remarks, Abbas repeatedly told the special session held on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that the Palestinians have never rejected negotiations with Israel. Abbas also sharply criticized the U.S. administration for their recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital, saying that it was one of the main reasons for the current stalemate in peace talks. Abbas called for an international peace conference to be held mid-year this year that would meet conditions such as accepting a Palestinian state as a full member of the UN, the implementation of the Arab League Peace Initiative, and an international multilateral mechanism to oversee peace talks with Israel instead of the U.S. Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, spoke after Abbas, telling the PA leader, who had already left the room, that he was not part of the solution but the problem. Danon said that when Abbas speaks at forums such as the UN, he speaks of peace. But Danon said, addressing the PA president, when you speak to your people in Arabic, you convey a different message. He also refuted Abbas's claims, pointing to numerous missed opportunities to reach a peace deal with Israel, such as the Camp David talks and then Prime Minister Ehud Olmert's peace offer. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki addressed the session as well, telling the Palestinians that they have a choice to either continue to protest the U.S. recognition of Jerusalem or move forward to a negotiated compromise with Israel, repeating that the U.S. was ready and willing to negotiate. But Haley said, "We will not chase after you." Haley also noted that the U.S. Chief Negotiator's Special Coordinator Jason Greenblatt and White House Special Advisor Jared Kushner were seated right behind her at the session and were ready to get to work. 4 Israeli soldiers were injured over the weekend by an improvised explosive device that was planted on the Gaza border fence. The IED was hidden inside a Palestinian flag, which was tied onto the fence, and was detonated just as an IDF jeep patrolled the fence Saturday afternoon. 2 of the soldiers sustained critical injuries. 2 were moderately injured. The following day, Sunday, a rocket was fired from Gaza at southern Israel. It landed in open territory near the city of Sderot. No damage or injury was reported. In response to the weekend incidents, Israel's Air Force hit a number of Hamas terror targets in Gaza, including a terror tunnel. The IDF said Hamas is responsible for everything that happens in the Gaza Strip, above and below ground. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu echoed that sentiment, saying that every act of aggression by terrorist elements is met with a firm and powerful response. And the Prime Minister is back in Israel after addressing the Munich Security Conference in the German capital on Sunday, where he warned against regional threats, including from Iran. The Prime Minister brought with him a fragment from the Iranian drone that was launched from Syria, infiltrating Israeli airspace the previous weekend, warning the Islamic Republic not to test Israel's resolve. While in Munich, Netanyahu and his wife also visited the memorial to the Munich 11, the Israeli athletes murdered at the 1972 Olympic Games in the city. While Israel's consulate in New York City and the World Jewish Congress honored the winners of the Campus Pitch initiative. This is the 3rd year the competition has been held. It encourages college students to find new ways to engage their campus communities about Israel. 5 finalists presented their pitches Thursday night to a panel of judges from the World Jewish Congress, the Consulate, Stand With Us, and Hasbara fellowships. The winners, Binghamton University students Talia Chazen, Gabriel Gang, and Hannah Werner, who were awarded a $10,000 grant to help organize a campus-wide water gala to help raise funds to bring Israeli innovation to African villages suffering from an ongoing water crisis. Israel's Consul General Dani Dayan, who was at the event, lauded the students for their out-of-the-box thinking and said the other reason for this competition is so important because the battle for Israel's legitimacy for justice is mainly fought on campuses, and you, he told the students, are our young ambassadors. A regional official in Poland has asked that 2 parts of the wall that once surrounded the Jewish community in Warsaw be preserved. The official who is responsible for conservation in the community wants the red brick wall that is still standing at 53 Siena Street, a remnant of the Warsaw Ghetto, protected as a witness to history and preserved for future generations. Local residents have 2 weeks now to appeal the proposal. And Polish Jewry is in the spotlight tonight on JBS. Our programming for Tuesday, February the 20th includes at 7 o'clock the director of the new Museum of Polish Jewry in Warsaw and others speak at the Consulate General of the Republic of Poland in New York. At 8, Executive Director of the JCC of Krakow, Jonathan Ornstein, speaks about Jewish life in that city. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with founder and director of the Jewish Culture Festival in Krakow, Janusz Makuch, on the Chaim. And at 10, highlights from that festival. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, the debate program, Frenemies. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, February the 20th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.